Hey guys, it is Julie here with JT.Wealth. Today we are talking about paying down your debt and the best methods to do so. So let's get into it. Welcome back, subscribers, and hello to everybody new. If you are new, please remember to hit that subscribe button and give us a like. This way you'll stay up to date with all of our new videos coming out and help us grow the channel as well. So today's topic, we're gonna go over paying down your debt and two of the best methods to do so. We're gonna go kind of over the pros and cons of each method and discuss which one we like best. First though, I do wanna discuss some facts and numbers around personal debt here in the US. Now, here are some fun statistics on personal debt here. So you can see in 2019, at the end of, in December, consumer debt rose 6.9% to a record $4.19 trillion. That's a lot of money, guys. Of that debt, over $3 trillion was non-revolving debt like auto and student loans. And of that, credit card debt represents 26% of our total debt. So then let's take a look at credit cards. More than 189 million Americans have credit cards, with the average credit card holder in America having 4 different credit cards. I know I'm guilty of this. You want a Visa, you want a MasterCard, all these different department stores and companies offer different cards with different perks. So it's really easy to end up carrying a lot of cards in your wallet. Average credit card debt per household is over $8,000, and 55% of Americans with credit cards are currently in credit card debt. Now, credit card debt is such an easy thing to rack up. It is so easy to just put those charges on your credit card and worry about it later. And I hate to tell you, those between 25 and 34 years old are the worst. We carry the most credit card debt at an average of $10,400. So credit cards, plus we're adding in student loans, auto loans, because who of us is actually saving up cash to buy the vehicle we want? And nowadays, you can understand how people are carrying such a high average of debt. So you've decided that you are ready to get out of this debt cycle, start paying it off more aggressively, and get to that financial picture that you're really dreaming of. Amazing. The first step is being here, learning about it. So good on ya. Now there's a couple steps that you need to start with in order to get organized to start paying down your debts. So step number 1 is going to be just that, organizing your debts. You need to make a list. So this includes all payments that you're making throughout the month. There's going to be car payments, credit card minimums, any personal loans, medical bills. Make a list of the total amount owed, your monthly payment to it, and what the interest rate is, and have all of these laid out. Now that you have that list of debts organized, the second step is going to be organizing your budget. I know this is tedious, and frankly, it is no fun. I hate doing budgeting, but it is really important to be able to see where your money is going and really determining how much cash flow you can put towards this debt repayment plan. When we are breaking down our budget, we're putting them into 2 different categories. So it's going to be non-discretionary and discretionary, which breaks down to what you need and what you want. So your non-discretionary spending is going to be fixed items that you need to survive every month. This is going to be your rent or your mortgage payment, your utility bills to keep the lights and the water running, groceries, insurance payments, kind of those fundamentals that you're going to have to pay no matter what. Now, in this part of the budget, there's normally not a ton of wiggle room to create that extra cash flow. You can do certain steps like moving to a less expensive apartment and everything, but these are harder to easily change. So when we're looking for extra cash flow, we're really going to look at that discretionary spending. Discretionary spending is the fun stuff, and yes, it's gonna hurt a little to cut it back, but it is really where you can make a difference in that free cash flow. Discretionary spending is often what's probably gotten you in some of that credit card debt anyways. Like, there's the big FOMO, and we want that instant gratification, right? So if there's an expensive weekend away with your friends, you don't want to miss that. That can go on the credit card. The same awesome night out for a friend's birthday, put it on the credit card. We're not going to stay at home, obviously. But here is where you can make some little changes that are going to make a big difference in your pocket at the end of the day. So little things like, instead of eating out for lunch every day, taking your lunch with you to work. Drink that free office coffee. I know it's not as good as these Starbucks lattes, but those are costing you a lot. Simple things like having your girlfriend over for wine instead of going out. I can have a whole bottle of wine here for the same cost as one glass at a restaurant. So doing these little changes along the way are really gonna make that big difference in the end, and you'll be surprised how much you can now focus towards your debt repayment. Okay, now you have your debts listed out, you have more of a handle on your budget and cash flow, so you know how much you can put towards repaying these debts. So you have to decide how you want to go about tackling paying these down. It can be really overwhelming when you're looking at that big lump sum. So this is where we're going to get into the two most popular strategies for paying down debts, and that is the Snowball versus the Avalanche. Let's start with the debt avalanche method. So this is more of a mathematical approach to paying off your debt. The way that you are going to organize your list of debts to tackle is going to be by interest rate. So you're going to sort them from the highest interest rate down to the lowest, and you're going to focus on paying off that highest interest rate item first. Typically, this is going to be your credit cards. Those are normally going to be 19% and above. And so with those, all of your extra cash flow is going to go to that one highest interest item. Keep in mind, you are still making all your minimum payments on the rest to keep them in good standing. Once you have this largest interest rate item gone, you're going to redirect that cash flow to the second highest interest rate plus that minimum payment. By doing so, with this mathematical approach, you're going to end up paying less interest over the long term since you're getting those high rates out of the way first. Now, the second method, the Snowball method, is more of an emotional-based method. And we all know that our emotions can play a really large part in our financial decisions. This is where I'm going to insert a plug for my emotional bias video. If you haven't watched it already, check it out on our page. The Snowball method is a favorite of the well-known Dave Ramsey, and basically with this method, you're organizing your debts by the balance left owing, going from the smallest balance down to the largest. With the Snowball method, you're putting all of that extra cash flow to that small balance loan, plus making the minimum payments on everything else. Most people can actually pay off this small balance loan in a matter of a couple of months. It might just be a small extra credit card or just some lingering amount on a loan that's almost done. Now, the benefit of this is us as humans love that satisfaction of seeing one of those debts wiped out quickly. And this is why it's a bit more of the emotional response. People really respond to seeing that progress of getting those debts paid down and closed. As you pay down these small balance loans, that cash flow then goes on to the next one and so forth as the snowball gets bigger until you're tackling those really large balances at the end. Now here is a great chart that really summarizes the different strategies of each of these methods and the benefits of both. So on the left, we have our Snowball method. This shows that small balance at the top, working up to tackling those big ones. The big highlight is staying motivated over time as you see those debts fall off. On the right hand, you have that Avalanche method where you're starting with that high interest rate and you're going to save money on interest over time. There's a lot of great calculators out there as well that can help you decide which method is going to be the most beneficial for you. So you can go over to vertex42.com and they have some great calculators on there. If you go to the debt reduction calculator, here is a screenshot of that, you'll be able to list all of your debts, the balance, the interest rates, and what payments you're currently making. Let them know what your monthly budget is so you know how much you have. And then down below here, you can switch where you want to do by Snowball with the lowest balance first, or you can move it over to the Avalanche. This is going to show you how long it's going to take you to get debt free and what your total interest cost will be. One surprising thing, I don't know if it's, well, you'll decide if it's surprising, is that sometimes the Avalanche method is minimally beneficial to the Snowball, meaning that there is going to be some interest savings, but it might not be as drastic as you think. So you really need to do the math and see, is 1 month of extra payments going to be worth that satisfaction emotionally, and which plan is going to help you stay on track better. Same thing when it comes to budgeting. There's so many tools out there. So there's lots of different spending tracking apps or budgeting websites to really help you find out how much extra cash flow that you could have towards debt. So utilize all of those tools out there. And another thing too is that you don't have to do this alone or by yourself. Go to your bank, talk with your financial advisor. Sometimes they can even look at consolidation loan options. These can or cannot be really beneficial, but they can move some of your really high interest debt to a lower rate, or lump, multiple credit cards into one payment. So definitely go in, ask for help with it, because they can sometimes have some really worthwhile solutions for you. But that is basically a really quick summary on the 2 popular debt payment methods, guys. So let me know how you're tackling your debt. Do you use either one of these methods? How do you find it works best for you? And what really helps you stay on track? Please remember to subscribe and hit that like button. Leave comments below and let me know how you're doing. And have an awesome day. Thanks.